Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fearfans podcast. I'm your host, Don. With me is Nick and Joe. And, yeah, hey, it's summer, and we figured we should cover another summer horror film. And it's been a while since we've been covered Friday the 13th movies. So, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Arguably one of the best of the franchise.
And it officially gives the return of actual Jason Voorhees himself in this movie compared to the previous one where he was really only seen in nightmares and hallucinations.
Right. It's like, the last film, Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, it was like, it marked the beginning of how they were just gonna try all sorts of different ideas to really spice up the franchise because, everybody was like, oh, this is getting too predictable, or at least some people were thinking that. It's like, oh, this is getting predictable. Jason comes and he's gonna slaughter everybody. But they tried a few new things. Like Part 5 obviously focused on the effects of trauma. I guess that's one of the biggest things of it. But right here, they decided that the biggest letdown for some people who disliked A New Beginning was, where's Jason? If it's not Jason, it's not Friday the 13th. So they're like, okay, in the next one, Jason lives. And oh, you know what? We're going to make that the title. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, yeah. And also, this year marks the 40th anniversary of when it was released in theaters.
Yeah, 1986.
That's right.
Which also, in addition to, of course, I'll save more of this for the end, as we get close to the end, of course, that also added a classic song that was added as part of the soundtrack. But like I said, I'll talk more about that later, of course.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And, oh yeah. Yeah. Let me just make sure here something. Here. Sorry, I just wanted to check something out real quick on my page. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. So this marks the official return of Jason, who. So, the whole story is Tommy Jarvis is now now an adult. I want to say he's late teens, early 20s. I don't think they really say in this.
I don't think they said, but he kind of looked like he was early 20s.
Yeah.
At least Tom Matthews was when he was in it. Yeah. So Tommy Jarvis is now played by Tom Matthews, who I've seen in several different movies. More specifically, The Return of the Living Dead, where he played Freddy.
Yep.
Yeah. And we met him too, Nick.
That's right, yeah, and I still remember when we didn't really talk to him about Jason Lives. I think it was because we were so much more focused on wanting to talk about Return of the Living Dead with them, but he was still an awesome guy to chat with.
Oh yeah, dude, totally. Well,
yeah, he was great. No doubt.
Oh yeah, we did talk with him about Return of the Living Dead because. Again, that's the cast of Return of the Living Dead was there, along with Miguel Nunez, who we had him on featured as a guest in our podcast a little while back. And let's see, oh yeah, but we did talk to him a little bit about Jason Lives. He talked to us about that how they did that scene at the end where they were in a lake, which turns out they were actually the underwater scenes in there were actually filmed inside of a swimming pool.
Oh, really? Well, that's not unusual. That's typical of underwater sequences.
Oh yeah, but it's like he was explaining to us how dirty the pool had gotten and all that. Oh, man, yeah, he was when he was explaining this, I was just like, oh man, I imagine that was fun for the owner of that pool to clean out. I hate to be him.
Yeah, exactly.
but still, awesome finale. But we'll get to more on that soon.
They probably got compensated.
I'm sure they did. I meant that as a joke.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey.
Oh, Don, real quick, I just wanted to say this on a quick side note. I don't know if you heard about this because this is involving an actress. You know who Mary Rivera is, right?
Yes.
From Spider-Man.
Yep.
She died.
Oh yes. She played Aunt May, right? Was that Aunt May or what? No, wait.
No, it was.
No, wait, that's somebody else.
Yeah, it was in Spider-Man: No Way Home as Ned's Lola.
Oh wait, okay, now I remember because I knew that name sounded familiar. I knew it was like either Either one or two people. Aunt May from the original Spider-Man trilogy, or somebody from No Way Home.
Yeah,
I
she was
knew I
well
heard that
home.
name. Yes.
Yeah, she was 82 years old.
Wow. Rest in peace. Yeah, I gotta see the new Spider-Man. I'm probably gonna see it twice in theaters. Once with my cousins and once with you guys. You know, like I know you
Yeah,
guys want to see it.
yeah, we're interested in wanting to check it out too.
Oh yeah. Uh, anyway, so this marks how Jason has been brought back to life, pretty much Frankenstein style. Uh, so Tommy Jarvis, who is still like traumatized by his past, how Jason had attacked his family, you know, killed his mother. I mean, that's been confirmed, even though it was an off-screen kill. But so Jason, or sorry, Tommy drives to Jason's grave with his buddy Hawes, who both were institutionalized together. That's how I know they know each other. And also Tommy somehow has his hockey mask,
Yeah,
or at least yeah, or actually no, I think
at
this
least
is
a
definitely a
replica.
Picked
different.
it up out of the
It,
grave.
yeah, actually, it was a different hockey mask. Yeah,
Yeah, it
he
was.
just bought. Yeah, so they decide to drive to Jason's grave in Crystal Lake and just see if they could destroy the body to make sure Jason's officially dead, because apparently being buried isn't enough.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
That's typical of any type of undead figure.
yeah. Like, so they dig up Jason, and like, right when right when they're about to burn before they could burn the body, Tommy like freaks out and then grabs one of the iron bars from the gate, right? Just stabs Jason's corpse with it, but then that rod pretty much acts like a lightning rod, struck with lightning, and Jason is brought back, and the lightning somehow gave him superhuman strength.
Yep, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't
So
make a lot of
this
sense,
pretty
but
yeah. I mean, this movie pretty much marks the this is pretty much the point where if you like any sort of plausibility or realism that the franchise had up to that point goes right out the window, starting with this movie.
exactly, yes.
Yeah, I'm hearing some feedback or some noise in the background noise.
It's not coming from my end. I mean, I
It's
have a
not my
fan
end
on,
either.
but I don't think it's causing the sound because my fan's pretty far away.
Let's see. Oh, it's Joe.
No, it's not me.
It is because I'm muting you right now, and look, sound's gone.
Oh, I don't hear nothing.
That's odd. I don't know. Your microphone must be picking up something. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
I don't know
but
what it's
whatever. We'll,
picking up because it's quite quiet out here.
I don't know. Well, we'll just.
Hello, can you hear me?
What is it, Nikki? Nikki's cutting out.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I think you're cutting out.
Yeah,
Okay, it's me.
they started to get a little choppy there.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that gets better. But
Yeah,
all right. We'll
go ahead,
carry on.
proceed.
Anyway, I
Oh, yeah.
wanted to say something that I noticed because I watched this movie just last night.
Oh.
You know, me and sequels and so on, we don't get along because I don't like a lot of sequels. But it was a good movie. But you know, the first kill in that movie was Horshack, Arnold Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
that
Oh
was-
yeah.
wow.
Hawes. That's who he was in this. Yeah, like
Yeah,
he
it
was.
was like a couple of years. I think it was like just a few years before. I don't know, when was the movie done?
1986.
1986.
Oh, so yeah, so it was a while before that because he passed away in 2012. I think I saw it.
Oh. I didn't know that.
John Paleo or whatever. He played Arnold Horshack in Welcome Back, Kotter. 19.
Yeah, and then that.
A little before your time.
Yeah. Well,
Don't laugh.
I know, I'm a
Before
90s.
you're gonna
I
itch
mean-
you Patty's pants, Nick.
Yep, as you always say.
Yeah. I mean, I was born in the 90s, so yeah, that was definitely before my time. But yeah, he pretty much got killed. I mean, his death was pretty much like right out of Mortal Kombat. You know, where Kano performs a fatality, just punches,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then rips the heart out. Yeah,
Well,
I was just that every time I watch the death of Hawes, I'm just picturing in my head. I'm picturing Jason wins fatality.
yeah.
Finish him.
Oh yeah,
That's a good
They actually
impression,
did
Don.
Oh yeah, thanks. I tried, but yeah, they actually did feature Jason in Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 10, as some people call it.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they had all kinds of there. Right now, they're throwing in all kinds of horror villains as fighters in Mortal Kombat. First, it started with Freddy Krueger, then Jason, Leatherface, Alien, Predator. Let's see, Ghostface now they have Ghostface.
Of
Wow.
course.
Yeah. But I personally prefer Mortal Kombat 11. I think love the game's features. But anyway, so then and also on top of that, Tommy can't burn Jason's body because it started raining. Oh yeah, and Jason now has this look where he's like horribly rotted all over, and you could just barely make it out because the lighting, it's all shadowy. But that's the whole point. They're trying to make it like that
Wow.
much more obvious. Yes.
Right.
So, and it's been debated for years as to whether or not Jason is considered a zombie at this point. It's like, yes, he's an undead figure, but like a zombie would typically imply that he's spreading some kind of a plague, infecting others. But here, it's like here it's resurrected. He's resurrected and has a purpose that he wants to carry out. So
And
he
zombies,
feels more.
don't they typically eat human brains?
Yes,
And see, he's
And
not
so-
doing that either.
Not only that,
Exactly.
their memory would be completely erased. They'd basically be something completely have the mind of a different creature at this point because they're no longer like the human beings that they were.
Yeah, and you see there's some humanity in Jason in some of those earlier films, like when his mother was there and he's like,
Yeah.
you could see because he like stopped for a second,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jason, to me, it seems he seems to fit more the description of a revenant.
Right. I figured that's what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
That makes more
And in
sense.
this, oh yeah, and also his invulnerability has skyrocketed because he can no longer. I mean, there were times where he was phased by all sorts of things, like such as being hit, being. I think. Wait, is this the first movie where he was actually shot?
No,
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 I
I was
thought
about
there
to
was
say-
maybe one other movie.
because he was shot with a normal rifle, and then he's also been shot, I believe, with an actual shotgun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he does not want to die, that guy.
Well, regardless, he was shot. It's like the bullets don't even phase him in this. Seriously, he gets shot multiple times in one scene, and the point where he gets shot in the head, and he just does this. He just takes it like it's nothing.
yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, throughout the film, he's really like learning that he's now pretty much superhuman and nearly unstoppable. Because there's a part where he actually grabs a guy by the arm, throws him against the tree, and then he lifts the guy's arm out to find out it's severed. He's like, he just turns his head, looks at it as if he's saying, "Whoa, did I just do that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was
Right.
a little surprised.
He's discovering his
Yeah.
newfound strength.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. And there's, oh man, like all sorts of, like the main conflict in this is like pretty much determination versus skepticism, which, as we know, Tommy is determined to take down Jason, put an end to him once and for all. But the local sheriff, the new sheriff of Crystal Lake, is just denying the whole thing, thinking Tommy's crazy. So yeah, it's just determination versus skepticism.
What
that
did they
conflict.
rename that? I forgot because they renamed Crystal Lake because there was
They
a
did.
sign
Yeah.
they showed like an old sign during one of those.
They did. They
And
renamed.
it said
They renamed
Camp
it-
Crystal Lake, but it was crossed out and said Camp Blood.
Yep.
Yeah, they renamed the town Camp. Oh, everything all good, Nikki?
Yeah, I'm just taking my jumper off.
Okay. But yeah, they renamed it Forest Green because Yeah, as the
Yeah,
sheriff explained, as the sheriff Garrison, Sheriff Garrison explained to Tommy that that nobody wants to be reminded of what that maniac did. That's why we changed the name of the town. And I'm like, at that point, I'm just thinking, oh, really? So is that why you had Jason buried in your local cemetery with his name on the tombstone?
but the thing is, if history's
You're
proven
right, Joe.
anything, okay, you can't rename a town or a street and think that that's going to make it smell better, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen them in Madison. They've probably done this in Chicago, but they like renamed a neighborhood or a street, but the bad element is still there.
Yes.
You know, it
Exactly.
doesn't always work, you know, and it's the same concept applies. You can't rename this and don't think he's going to not come back if he comes back at all. He's going to haunt that, you know, go back to that place because that's
Exactly.
where
Right.
he's drowned. Don't name, you know, it doesn't matter what you rename that lake, he drowned there. He's going to be always drawn to it.
It's his
Right.
territory,
And
essentially.
Yes.
right, exactly. And Sheriff Garris just doesn't realize that. And
Yeah. He's
also the
like,
fact, and
got no clue. Doesn't
yeah,
want to believe.
and so yeah, so it's like if you want people to forget about Jason, don't have him buried in your local cemetery, and have his name on a gravestone. If you want, like, why not just cremate him and send him off somewhere? Why not? I don't know. Maybe bury his body out in the ocean, like in. Or
Yeah.
here's what I would do: have it buried unmarked in the middle of Death Valley, which is incredibly inhabitable, the hottest place
Right.
on Earth.
Yep.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah,
But
and the thing
that,
is, the other thing is realistic of this though is why have a marked grave on a movie about a psychopathic killer? Because history's proven those graves usually get robbed or the headstones. Look at Ed Gein, for example. His is
yeah,
unmarked now because the headstone kept getting stolen.
exactly.
You know.
And on top of that, you know, you've had, you know, like all these teenagers in town who can still say, "Oh wait, Camp Blood? Oh, you're talking about Jason?" It's like they
Yeah.
still know who Jason is, and I'm
Right.
just thinking, and I'm just thinking, so, you know, for a town that really is so desperate to try to forget all about Jason and try to pretend he doesn't exist, they sure do suck at it.
Yeah, they really
Well,
do.
you know, people have tried to forget Ed Gein, and it's still talked about up and around there. You just got to be careful who you talk to, though, because
Exactly.
they don't like you get up there, you'll end up being watched.
Exactly.
You know, because I've gone up and around there and done the investigation with an entire group of people, and boy, we were actually being watched. You know.
Oh yeah.
Real quick in the comments, Thomas, I'm actually doing pretty good. He was asking me how I was doing. Doing pretty good, as you guys can see. I also kind of went through a new makeover. I freshly got a haircut 3 days ago, so
Nice.
just wanted to kind of do things for a change. That doesn't mean I'll never go back to the long hair again. Just wanted to try something for a change, but also more importantly, and Thomas will like hearing this, I had just made an announcement on Facebook about over an hour ago, in which I've lost more weight. I'm down to 233 pounds. That puts it full total of 60 pounds gone.
Oh, congratulations, buddy.
Yeah,
Way to go.
60 pounds are gone, and I'm all ready for the next 10.
You know, you should have sent some of that my way, though. I could have used it.
If I could, I definitely would.
Oh yeah. Nice. Yeah,
Fantastic.
I just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just lost 10 pounds over the past month myself.
Oh, good for
Yeah.
you. Congrats.
Thanks.
That's
And
awesome.
so, oh yeah. And so
Nick,
Tommy Jarvis
Nick,
says,
now you don't look a day young. That's right.
Yeah, I've already got a few of that.
Good.
I mean, people tell me that.
and so, yeah, like Tommy Jarvis has been through like quite a few changes throughout the franchise. He started off as you know, a kid played by Corey Feldman. He was like enthusiastic about makeup effects, which I'm pretty sure that was a nod to Tom Savini.
Yep.
who by the way also worked on did the practical effects for that movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he did a few.
and
He
then
did for a few of the movies though, not just this one.
oh yeah, and yeah yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that Tom Speed did it just for this one. He's a legend when it comes to practical makeup effects. Are you kidding?
Yeah, he did the effects for the original one too.
Oh yeah, the original. He did the effects for oh god, Dawn of the Dead, Creep Show. The guy's a legend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. And also when we covered part five, I remember joking about how Corey Feldman was appeared in like a dream sequence, and then when he wakes up, he becomes a prototype of Billy from Power Rangers.
Yeah, yeah.
he, he,
That
he
does.
really
He
did.
does look a lot like Billy from Power Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah.
He, yeah,
Really does.
he just has that look to him.
Glasses and everything. Dead on.
Yeah, and you know, it just dawned on me. I forgot to point out that like 20 minutes into part five, like Tommy like doesn't have glasses anymore after that, and they never give an explanation.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of. I'm surprised we didn't bring that up last when we were talking about the last one. I'm surprised. Yeah, it was kind of odd that he never wore them again.
Yeah, it's like after a little while, was he just like, oh wait, my eyesight's not that bad. Okay, I don't need these anymore. Like what? Like what was that?
Yeah, really.
That's one of those mess ups that you gotta watch for. That those little things to watch for in movies. The little tiny mistakes.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Exactly.
to be
And
fair,
it happens a lot more than we think.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, continuity wasn't exactly the franchise's strong suit all the time. I mean, I have to think back to some changes that were made in between movies, like how in part two, where Jason, him unmasked shows him having hair, but is somehow bald in the third film, which takes place immediately after the events of the second film. So go figure.
It just seems kind of odd that they did that, but that's typical of some franchises. They don't always continue the
Well,
continuity error.
I read once a long time ago, and I think this was before they did the Friday the 13th Part 3 because everything was 3D. That year. You know,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
but I think I remember right that they were under contract, and that I'm sure they've already surpassed it, but they were under contract to do 13 movies.
yeah. I mean, I don't think there's 13 just yet. Like, I mean, there's going to be the new series coming out, Crystal Lake.
Right,
Yeah.
but I don't think the series counts.
Well, no, but
You know.
well, what I'm getting at is I'm interested in seeing that because it's like some people are against like reboots, but as far as a prequel, I mean I'm interested in seeing what it's going to introduce to the whole lore of Jason.
Well, didn't they have like a Friday the 13th series, but it had nothing to do with the movie?
Yeah, it was that
It did.
series
It
made
was
in the
like
late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah, and they were like collecting cursed artifacts or
It
something
was
like that.
it
Yeah,
was very much kind of like that's why I describe it as kind of like a late '80s, early '90s attempt for like it was like their attempt for like kind of like the Twilight Zone because it was an
Yeah,
anthology series. It was
yeah,
like
kind of like the
this was meant to be
Twilight
like the
Zone.
Twilight Zone series of the late '80s and early '90s.
right. Yeah, and so let's see, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, like let's see. Yeah, so this also introduces the female protagonist, Megan, who is the daughter of Sheriff Garris,
Yeah,
who is just like who is like intelligent, but sometimes at the very least is a bit childish.
yeah, she
Yeah.
is.
Oh
But
yeah,
you have to remember,
but
too,
still
they're
but
supposed to be teenagers.
right. But don't get me wrong, she's a likable character. It's just that she seems a little different from the other female leads that we've had so far in the series.
Well,
Yeah,
she was raised by the sheriff. You know, think about it. That's just about as bad as being raised by being a minister's daughter. Or,
yeah. Isn't that the
think about
truth?
it.
Yeah.
You just don't want that.
No,
You
you
know,
don't.
they're in a small town and her dad's the sheriff. She can't get away with doing nothing without her dad finding out.
Um,
Exactly.
Sounds like my dad.
yeah, I actually I dated a girl whose dad was a cop, so I know that all too well.
My ex-wife, her dad was a Rock County sheriff, I think it was,
Hmm.
something like that. It was like in that general area.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. And so, like, I don't know, like the sheriff was like the one character I was just like so annoyed with when I first saw this movie as a teenager. I mean, it's like obviously you're rooting for Tommy, because he knows Jason's back. He wants to put a stop to him, but his biggest obstacle was the sheriff. He tries so desperately to either prove that Jason is alive and then tries to go out and stop him, but the sheriff just keeps getting in the way. And that's what really
Yeah.
irked me when I was. By the way, 14 years old when I first saw this movie because
Oh wow.
I'll share.
It was 12 years old for me, so don't feel bad, Don.
Well, so
He was a baby.
yeah, so like when I was 14, when I first bought the Alien quadrilogy, and so and then my parents were like, "Wait, the first Alien movie's rated R." I'm like, "All of them are rated R," and at that point they were just like, "You know what? Like it doesn't matter if he's 14 years old. He loves horror. Horror doesn't affect him. It doesn't. He's not scared at all of them. He doesn't get nightmares or anything. So just let him watch all of them. It's all good." So right after that, I decided to buy the first 8 Friday the 13th movies, and there was like a DVD collection. But since then, I have upgraded to Blu-ray. So, yeah, gotta love Blu-ray. But so and then I just watched all the Friday the 13th movies, and I'm just like, I was so pumped, so hyped. There's nothing better than being a 14-year-old kid being allowed to watch R-rated movies.
Yeah, I know the feeling too.
Oh yeah,
It's always a good feeling.
yeah.
You know,
Oh, you like his kill being? Oh yeah, he pretty much folded it in half like a lawn chair.
I guess I was raised in a different generation, totally. I mean, I didn't have that much, about R-rated movies or anything like that. Just made sure I had an adult with us.
That's
Or,
Right.
Yeah, that's the typical rule.
you know, so I didn't have curfews. I didn't have a lot of things. But I'll never forget the day my dad decided we would watch the original one for the first time. It was out on TV, right?
Mhm.
It is first time Friday the 13th came to TV. And he's like, "Oh, you want to go camping?" I know. And he, in Adam's Friendship, there was a campground called Camp Crystal Lake.
Hey Jenny.
And I like packed up the van and he's like, "I'm ready to go." And he's like, "Oh, I just wanted to see how far you'd go before you quit, you know.
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Oh, you suck," because I wanted to go to prove that, hey, that movie didn't scare
Yep.
me one bit,
Oh
because
yeah.
Yeah.
he was a typical father that, you're watching it and you're so intent and he'll come up behind you and do something to make you jump and scream or something, right when and that music's going like dun dun dun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And let's see.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout. Yeah, great to see you, Jenny. Long time no see.
Yeah, hope things are great in Ireland. Oh yeah. And let's see. There was one person in this movie that I remember first seeing. Well, actually, technically, first hearing his voice in another movie back in 1999. There was this Disney movie Tarzan, and the voice of Tarzan
Yep.
was in this. He played. Let's see, he was in the car with his girlfriend, and they come across Jason, and he got impaled, and well, both of them.
Really, that was him.
Yeah, Darren, that's his name. He was
Darren?
supposed to be one of the camp counselors, and he was played by. Let's see, what? Oh yeah, Tony Goldwyn, that's his name, and he.
Crazy.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I know, right? But
Who would have guessed?
oh yeah, and years later, I saw him in the particularly disturbing remake of The Last House on the Left, where he played the dad.
That's quite an. I got to say, that is quite an interesting career he has, going from
Yes.
this movie to a
Well,
family-friendly Disney film to a very violent rape revenge
yeah,
film. Like that's quite an interesting career.
Oh yeah,
Quite
I
a
think
mixer up of things, if anything.
yeah he was also in that Patrick Swayze movie, Ghost.
Okay. Well, now adding to that,
Ghost.
that he was also in a famous Ghost movie too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
there was somebody else I recognized in that movie.
Yeah,
I
excuse
can't
me.
think of her name. She was one of
Bless you.
the.
Thank you.
She was
Hey, Billy.
the black girl that was one of the counselors.
Oh, Kissy. Yeah, that's the character's name.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
she played a burned out drug addict,
Bless you.
heroin or cocaine, in 21 Jump Street. She was on like 3 or 4 episodes of it.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Oh wait, Sissy. Sorry, I keep thinking it was Kissy or
Yeah.
something. It was Sissy.
Sissy,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was her name. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight.
But she was
You're right.
on
Good.
like the old TV series 21 Jump Street.
Ah, classic.
Who
Oh, yeah.
would have guessed?
Yeah, I sometimes I make fun of her death in this because you know how Jason like twists her head around. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking your head spins right around, right
Well,
around.
let's not forget too that he also later did that with a guy in Freddy vs. Jason too.
He did.
Yeah.
Only that one was a lot quicker. He just like
He just like throws. He just twists it with little effort. I thought. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was actually kind of funny.
yeah, it looked really
Shocked
cheesy.
look on his face.
Yeah. Oh yes, Tony Goldwyn. Yes, that's right, Billy. He was Tarzan. Voice of Tarzan. Yes. Jason Deck.
Dom, I'm never going to think of that song ever again now.
You're what?
I'm never going to think of that song the same ever again. Your head spins me around.
You're welcome. I know. I'm the worst. I know. I am the absolute worst. And it's also I should also mention about this movie that this is the first and only Friday the 13th movie that does not have any nude scenes.
Yeah, it is. That was the other thing too. I noticed was that it was one of
Oh, yeah.
the only one that doesn't really have. I mean, I know there's like one scene, but there's like barely like any sex in it like you would normally see, which is the typical routine. You know, not just for this franchise, but for any slasher film.
Well, it's for those horror movies. There's rules, remember?
Yeah, there is, and it was almost as if they decided to follow one of them for once.
Yeah. But I mean, the director wanted to make a few changes, like Tom McLaughlin, who also that's his name, Tom McLaughlin, who also who directed and also wrote this film. He decided to like also add throw in some humor here and there, which which seemed pretty meta because like in the car scene when Darren Elizabeth came across Jason and she said, I've seen enough horror movies to know that a guy wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yeah.
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 I love that part.
Yeah, that got a laugh out of me.
The other thing too, I was going to bring up another big change about this Friday the 13th compared to other ones is that obviously by the later half of the film, when I guess you can kind of say the final battle goes on,
Mm-hmm.
it's also one of the few occasions where not necessarily that they actually take part in it, but actual kids are involved in this
Yes,
movie.
that's
Which
right.
is something which
Yeah.
is a rather rare phenomenon. It's something that doesn't quite happen, not only just again in this franchise, but in most slasher movies.
That's right. This is the one Friday the 13th movie where the camp is open.
Well, no, not necessarily like it's open. It's like kids are actually involved in
That's
this.
what I mean.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
At least there was no killing of the kids.
Yes, that would have got this movie so much controversy.
Oh yeah,
I
I
mean,
would have like stopped watching it right there.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
though Jaws did that.
Yeah, but it was also
Yeah.
off screen.
Yeah. But also, this movie showed the one kryptonite of Jason. When, like, if you're a kid, Jason comes at you, all you have to do is pray.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yep, we did mention that before, Billy, where Jason comes back as a revenant. Yeah. I'm good. It was the second highest score that. Oh, yes. I mean, of course, the first movie is going to be #1 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not surprised. First one is an all-time classic.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, the first movie of any horror series is going to set the tone for what they do next, if they actually make sequels at all. But you know, when the first one's a box office smash, of course they're going to make another one, and you know, they're going to keep milking that franchise as long as they possibly can.
They did because remember this is the '80s. You know, the slasher craze was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't as crazy like than the because like as I would say, I actually kind of look at it as like two different sides. Like the golden age was definitely between 1980 up until 1984, but then there was kind of a breakdown by the mid 80s, and then around 1985 and beyond, that's when you started seeing like definitely a lot more of the sequels coming out.
The thing that made the biggest that had the biggest effect for me to watch horror movies, especially in the 80s, you have a choice. And this was a common choice back then. Okay? You had a choice between a regular movie theater and a drive-in movie theater.
I figured you were going to say a drive-in.
Right. But think about it. That makes those movies a lot scarier.
It does. I've had the experience. I've had the pleasure of actually going to a drive-in myself, which is we have one not too far from us.
Oh,
so actually experiencing it firsthand, it's a very realistic feeling.
Oh yeah, I mean
that was my favorite way to watch horror movies back then.
I need to watch a horror movie at a drive-in because the last time that anybody in my family's ever watched a horror film at a drive-in was back in 1951 when my grandpa Chuck, he saw the original Thing, not John Carpenter's The Thing, the original.
Oh wow!
That's funny you mentioned that.
Wow. Yeah, not good. I would put that car in reverse.
I'm pretty sure that's what they did because my grandpa said that it scared the hell out of him, so they just left. And I told him, hey grandpa, if you think that one's scary, then John Carpenter's The Thing will terrify you. Because they really stepped it up in that remake.
It's funny you mentioned that too, Don. He said 1951. That was the same year. In fact, the drive-in that I went to also opened, and remains still in operation.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
nice.
I don't think we have any left in Perth.
They're a scarce thing, I'll tell you. I mean, we got like there was like probably 20 in this immediate area. You may have 2 left, and you got a little bit of distance to travel to get to one of them, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like an hour drive to get to the one, and about a half-hour drive to get to the other. And we're lucky because the new owners decided to keep that one open. You know, the one that the closest one, it's called the Jefferson Highway 18 Drive-In.
I know of that one.
Used to have 2 of them, and one he used to have 4 screens. It was called the Badger Fourplex, so they'd play 4 different movies. So, you know, but that was the first one torn down. And then the other one used to be on what's called Big Sky Drive in Madison. You know, it was just a 1-screen theater, but it sat out on top of a hill in such a position. I lived out on that side, and I could sit up on the hill in our backyard with an AM radio and pick it up and watch it, you know, kind of like being on the roof of the house, you know. And
that's cool.
That one got taken down and destroyed first and got taken over by Fox 47, the station, Fox. Fox Studios, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a couple of drive-in theaters around. I think the one that my grandpa Chuck was in is still in operations. Nick, we definitely got to go to that one. And by the way, my grandpa Chuck. Yeah, like hold on a second. But by the way, my grandpa Chuck still alive, 91 years old and still kicking.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Love you, Chuck.
Oh yeah, Yeah, he told me he always told me about what the drive-in experiences were like when he was a teenager.
No.
So which one is that, Don, that you've gone to?
I think that's the one that's near Rockford, if I'm not mistaken. Or oh no,
Oh,
wait, no, not Rockford. Or yeah, I keep forgetting the name. I know the name of it. I just can't remember the town it's in.
I was gonna say like it
Yeah.
would be cool to go, but I was originally gonna say that's a long way to go, just to see a movie. So, I mean, the one that I go to is located
Or no, McHenry Theater. The McHenry Outdoor Theater. Okay, it's just
McHenry. That's the same one.
yes.
Yeah, we've gone to that
The
one
McHenry.
before.
Okay, now it's coming back
Yeah,
to
I
me.
know which one that is. I know exactly where that's at.
Yeah.
I've
So
never
I
been
know.
to a
Yeah.
drive-through movie.
Oh, they're
Well,
fun.
You don't
I can tell you right
You
now,
know,
it almost does appear, and it seems to me that drive-ins do seem to. It appears as if drive-ins are actually making a comeback
I
because
hope so. You
yeah,
know,
because it's been in the talks for like the last few years, and I don't mean just like original operating drive-in theaters like this one that we just
Yeah.
mentioned, but also that they're just starting to make new locations to make drive-in theaters, so they
I
seem to be
mean,
making a comeback.
you got to think about it. I'm a
We don't
little
have
too
any
old
of
for
this.
this now, but going to a drive-in movie with your best girlfriend, man, it was like
Uh,
Makeout City. You know,
yeah, it was the
you just try to.
perfect dating
Yeah,
place.
that's right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I had a station wagon
Okay.
just for that.
Okay.
Or the vans. I make sure I take out the back seats so that you know. Yep, I
Yeah.
was always thinking.
Uh,
I just want to
so yeah.
let
John,
Nikki.
sorry to interrupt. I'm going to have to leave. My computer's gone weird.
Oh,
Oh
it
man.
is
Oh
okay.
well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go
Yeah.
because
Well.
my computer's just freezing and it's going weird and
It's no
doing its
problem.
odd thing. So
Well.
if I don't see you,
Well,
bye. Have a
it
great
was great
day.
having you, Nikki.
Take care, Nikki.
It was great having you, Nikki. Uh,
Thank you very much. Thank you. You too. I don't know what's going on. This is just weird. Your browser won't.
Oh,
that's a shame.
I was going to tell Nikki this before she left. I'll tell her this later. I just decided to look up because since she said she's never been to a drive-in, I just decided to look up. I would assume Australia would be no exception. I said, did Australia had drive-in theaters? And the answer I got was, believe it or not, yes. They had a massive drive-in theater culture. In fact, this is why I think Nikki would have really liked hearing. The first one opened on February 18th, 1954, in the Melbourne suburb of Burwood, and at their peak in the late 1970s, about 330 drive-ins operated nationwide, making Australia's network the third largest in the world behind the United States and Canada. Um, as of today, on the other hand, though, understandably, yes, only a small handful of regular drive-in cinemas remain open across the country, such as the Skyline Drive in Blacktown in New South Wales, and this is what she would have definitely would have liked hearing, Galaxy Drive-In Theater in Western Australia.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
which is directly in her state.
Nice. Yeah. So let's go. Okay. Let's go back to the film. So as we know, Jason is like is now undead. The camp Forest Green, as they call in this, is open, and the kids are there. And so I'm guessing like the main reason why Jason didn't want to kill any of the kids, even though he came face to face with that little girl who was absolutely terrified of him, is that they just reminded him of his former innocence. You know, he went to that camp. He was no different from those kids once before in his life.
It probably really explains that although he was staring at them, it almost appeared as if he. It's hard to say if he actually had intention of wanting to harm them or if it was just he's just remembering his past of who he used to be.
Yeah, I think I like
Yeah.
Dom's theory. Where he was like, caught in a trance of remembering what it was like to be a kid and innocent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
because I don't want to think that he would actually, you know, I just don't like it when a movie kills kids off. You know,
Yeah.
that Jaws was different because that was a shark. And that's part
Predatory.
of.
It's a predator
Well,
attack.
it's also part of something that happens in real life. With all the shark attacks. It's you know, kids can get hurt. Okay,
I
but
can't tell you how many times I've heard about attacks like that on kids, especially like if anybody watched last week, Shark Week. So Shark Week has
Yes.
plenty of those stories.
yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely. And so, as you one big difference that you'll notice in this, there was like several humor, like moments of like a bits of comedy in Jason Lives. Like as we saw, like as we talked about earlier, Elizabeth was saying a guy with a mask is never friendly, and there were other moments like where it seemed like the gravedigger was like self-aware and looking at the screen and addressing the audience. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like I've always wondered if this served as an influence for Kevin Williamson to add meta humor in the Scream franchise.
Well, and that's typical of like what most slasher films were at that time. They usually did, even if it was not intended, they usually added some kind of comedy. They would add some kind of tongue-in-cheek theme to the movie just to make it more fun for the
Well,
audience.
that type of comedy has been around for quite a while.
Yes, it
Yeah.
has.
You know.
Oh yes. I mean, let's see. Scream was released 10 years after this movie, and which when it sparked the teen slasher craze. Which because after this we've had movies like Urban Legend. We've had I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Don, I'll be back in a second. I just got to put this away real quick, so I'll be back in just a sec.
Right. Okay. So let's see. So this film, like the biggest dynamic in this is between like Tommy and Jason. Jason pretty much represents Tommy's troubled past coming back to haunt him, and he's just like trying to face his past. He needs to, defeat the evil that he had encountered when he was younger.
Yeah, he needs closure on the whole thing.
Yes.
Because wasn't he the one that was listening in, if I remember right? He was the one that was played by one of the famous Coreys, right? Tommy.
Corey Feldman.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, he needed closure on this whole thing, and the sheriff. Oh my God, the sheriff not believing him, not even having an open mind, and it's like, what the hell?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, okay, you may not believe, but I mean, come on, you've lived in this area and been sheriff for how long? And yeah,
Right.
him not
Right.
believing kind of pissed me off.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. And let's see, what was I going to say? So yeah, again, that was just the argument of belief versus skepticism. That's like the biggest conflict. So in some way, Sheriff Garris feels like a secondary antagonist in this. It's like, Tommy's gonna go take whatever means necessary to warn people and take Jason down, and the town just tries to cover up its past, even though they have Jason buried in a marked grave where anybody could be able to see that tombstone. I mean, seriously, why even keep the body if you guys want to forget about him?
Yeah, that's just kind of stupid too.
Yeah.
You want to forget about something, you destroy. That's what they did. They burnt down Ed Gein's house.
Yeah.
Shortly after he was convicted.
Oh, yes. Oh, and by the way, the director, Tom McLaughlin, he actually kept that Jason Voorhees tombstone after this movie was made.
Oh, he did. Okay, so as a reminder of like, not just this, not
A souvenir.
reminder, but
A
yeah,
souvenir.
that's what I was thinking of.
And what a souvenir. I'm jealous. I want one.
I think we all would.
You can buy those in the styrofoam form at Halloween time because they all got like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger on them. They all got some horror.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got a souvenir myself from the day that we met Kane Hodder, who played Jason from Friday the 13th Part 7 until Jason X, and I'm wearing it right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is it autographed?
I wish. Wasn't able to. Didn't get a chance to have him sign it.
Well, and I
Then you
remember,
wouldn't be
I
wearing it.
well, and not only that, I think for well, the autograph too, I think was like expensive as hell.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about the money. It's just that I bought this when we were like on the way out of the convention, so I didn't really
Yeah,
have a chance. I know it's a
You
shame,
know,
but
that whole thing with people charging for the autographs, especially real fans. I mean, there are people that want, oh, I want the autograph so I can sell it on eBay. You know, those people need to pay for it. But I mean, come on.
yeah.
That,
So
they're the ones that made a bad rap for that because I've had autographs and I still have them, you know.
yep,
that's fun.
And I've got T-shirts and they're like kind of packaged up until I can get a frame to put the T-shirt in. And that guy don't even drive or go around and signing anything anymore. You know, he just keeps to himself nowadays in
right.
his Ford dealerships. But I got an autograph from Rusty Wallace on an old Rusty Wallace T-shirt.
Yeah.
You know, but I never wear it.
Yeah. So Billy's asking which Jason is the favorite. Oh, good question. Like in this, Jason is played by C.J. Graham, and I believe this was his biggest role, being in this movie. I would say maybe I think Kane Hodder, even though it's like yeah. So like again, we've met him in person. He's oh man, like the that I mean I'm not just saying that because he's played Jason more than any other actor. You know, I'm not going to be biased like that, but it's just the way though he has the build for it. It's like sure he's not as tall as depicted in the movies, but he has the build of like a bouncer or a wrestler, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he's got the broad shoulders
I,
and
oh yeah,
yeah, big guy.
and when you shake his hand, oh
well,
man,
you can feel the strength in him. And also, just one more thing too, Joe, just to comment back on what you said. See, that's why, as far as like autographs and stuff like that are concerned, that's why I'm more interested in the picture than the
Right.
autograph.
Yeah, exactly.
yes,
I told you what I'm doing, you know.
Ted White.
I've
Oh,
got a good start.
from Friday the 13th Final Chapter, right? The fourth film. Yeah, I liked Ted White too. I mean, I not just Ted White because he played Jason so well, but also because he had a great person. He had great character to him as an actor, as a professional. Because when he when they were doing that scene where the girl was going out into the water and or Sarah was her name. Or no, wait, no, Samantha. Sorry, I got those two names mixed up. But Samantha was going out. She was skinny dipping and like going out into a raft, like an inflatable, little boat, and she had to be in that water, and it was like chilly, like super cold. She was like, they were everybody's worried she was at risk of hypothermia, but the director said, no, you need to finish the scene. We do more takes before you can get out. But then Ted White said he stood a step up for her. He said, well, listen, she's at risk, she's cold, and if you don't let her take a break and warm up, then I'm walking off the set and I'm not coming back. So, yeah, so Ted White, I say, good on you, man, and rest in peace, because I heard he did pass away.
How long ago did he pass away?
Let me see. Ted White, actor. Oh here. Oh yeah, he was a stuntman. Oh here. Actually, it was almost 4 years ago. He was 96 years old.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Okay.
Wow. And he's done stunts for a long list of movies, such as let's see, he's been in Tron, he's been in Hot Pursuit, and let's see, Downtown. Oh here. Bronco Bill, Short Circuit, Wild Wild West, Gone in 60 Seconds. He's been in a little bit of everywhere. His first stunt was in Revenge of the Creature, which was also early work for Clint Eastwood. Fun
Yep.
fact. Yeah, I can't believe man, Clint Eastwood. He's retired now. He just announced.
Yeah, he just made it. He just made the announcement that he's no longer
He's
doing
got to
it.
be in his hundreds.
He's
He is 96.
yeah, no, he's close. And
He's close then because, you know, he was famous for the spaghetti westerns.
yeah, and I would
Yep.
say that after everything that he's given us, I'd say he's earned his retirement.
You know, Outlaw Josie Wales, you know, those movies, spaghetti westerns.
Mm-hmm. And so, let's see. Yeah, we were just saying earlier, Nick, while you were gone, that Jason pretty much represents Tommy's troubled past, and the whole movie's about just going back to fight your past.
I heard. I was just a few feet away. I just had to put a book away.
I see.
Yeah, but
Let's talk about the
it's
kills.
also
In
about
this.
closure because Tommy needs it.
Yes, and so let's talk about the kills in this. There were several pretty unique ones because like a lot of the characters who were killed were people who were didn't really put much into the movie story wise. They were pretty much just cannon fodder.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
especially the first one.
oh yeah, or even more, even better, the scene where a bunch of people were like having a little paintball game. Like they were
Oh
like
yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, there
I
was like
like that.
oh yeah, five people who were working together. One of them had a memorable kill about like where Jason grabbed his arm and then swung him against the tree with a force that ripped his arm off, and he also had a machete in his hand, and he's like, huh, okay, I could use this. Even though he technically doesn't need it, he can pretty much kill anybody without any weapons at all.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
really.
go ahead.
yeah, that proved it right there. I mean, he was looking at it and it's like,
Hey, but hey, can't be
I
a
can do that.
yeah,
you
but hey,
know?
it can't be a slasher movie without a bladed weapon.
Well,
True.
they just
Very
proved you
true.
can do it though.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So, and then the first thing he does is he uses that machete to decapitate three of those paintball players at once. Oh,
Almost
Yeah,
like
that
as if
was
we
pretty
were,
wicked.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was also a bit funny too because here they were, like being like they were in the military wearing all that camouflage and stuff like. And maybe they were, I don't know, but it was just
I think
I don't
they
know. It
were
was
just
just something
military
creepy
wannabes
about that.
because the way they were walking around with other people, I expected them to shoot more because, how can you not see others that are, part of this paintball game when you're walking right by them in the back? You know, that stuff was kind of stupid for me because it made no sense.
Well,
Yeah,
But
not only
yeah, they
that,
weren't military at all because
no, they weren't.
they would have had a lot more kills than Jason.
Yeah, they and it would be a lot more serious too.
oh yeah. I mean,
Well, and not only that, I'm actually surprised Jason wasn't even shot with one of the
He
paintballs.
he
was.
was.
Oh wait, yeah, sorry, you're right, you're right. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah. Hey, it's been 8 years since I've last seen it, and I remember it like yesterday.
And he just kind of looks down and like, what the hell you think you're doing,
Yeah, really.
But then again, I do remember every single movie I've ever seen because of my autism. So, yeah. So there's that. Anyway, so yeah, Jason proves himself to be like yes, he was always been a force to be reckoned with, but in this, he is much worse. And it's like now that he's pretty much nearly unstoppable, if anyone comes across him, God
And
help
he's
them.
also like smarter or something.
Yeah,
He
he
is.
was a lot more intelligent in this one.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh man, like his, it's like also this franchise has seriously evolved from the first movie. It's like where you go from like an unseen killer who you see their point of view through just camera shots whenever they're stalking their
Well,
victims, right? But then
the
it gets to the
first
point,
movie,
and now
it was what? It was his mother, not even him.
yes.
Yep.
No, I'm saying killer, from a killer's point of view. But
Right.
but now they're just showing him full view committing his killing spree.
That's right.
Yes.
And it kind of gives him more character.
Exactly.
Because you kind of feel for him. Think about it. When he goes into that room full of kids and he just stops
Yeah.
and then he walks off.
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
He does. He stops for when that girl, and he really realizes this is just an innocent kid, like
Innocent
just like I used
kids,
to be,
yeah.
just
And
like I used to be.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking.
Yeah. So you kind of so you watching it kind of start feeling for him in a way,
That's right.
They're
Probably when
really,
time actually goes.
I
through.
gotta give them thumbs up for the way they wrote it out,
Oh
all the
yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
And put more depth into Jason, not just a mindless killer. See?
Oh yeah. This movie, I like the cinematography in this when they filmed the night scenes. It felt like a dark, gothic kind of atmosphere to it. Yeah, so
Yeah, I did kind of have that feel to it. You're right.
Well, yeah, it's
yeah,
not to it. You're out in the woods, man.
yeah, the fog, the darkness, the rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna get that. I
Oh yeah.
mean, when you're out in the woods somewheres, it's dark. There's no street lights,
Yeah,
no house lights.
I got a
But the
forest
light of
preserve.
the moon.
Yeah, I got a forest preserve near me, so I
Yeah,
know how it is.
and
And I've
so
been
all
going
you
to a
got
couple
is
too.
like the light of the moon, man.
I've been
It's
going to a
cool
couple
when
too.
you're out in the woods like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but in this case, it's dangerous.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and I was going to say I've been to a couple forest preserves these last couple of weeks. I mean, not by myself, but still.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, especially when things start getting uneven. It's keep in mind. I told you guys there was that one time I got lost in the woods when we went to Robinson. When I went to Robinson Woods to do an investigation there, and it was by the time I was like, I mean, I wasn't completely alone, but I was trying to catch up with someone, and then it got dark, and I couldn't see. She took my phone, so I didn't have a flashlight or anything like that. So I could definitely tell you that even from an animal, because you have to worry about there's dangerous animals in the woods. So I can definitely confirm that sometimes it definitely can get scary out in the woods after dark because whether it's human, animal, or whatever, still you don't know what you're walking into.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you shouldn't be in the woods in the first place unless you know what you're walking into.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it started that way, but then eventually it went completely off track, and I couldn't get there.
Because you got to know
What you need is
what can
this.
harm you.
What you need is this Apple Watch with GPS.
My GPS was on the phone. She had my phone.
Well, don't walk off without your phone.
No,
No,
I'm saying
I
no. I'm
don't
saying
like.
she had my phone. She had it.
Okay, have your phone. She should have her own phone.
I just
Yeah,
wish. I wish those Apple products weren't so expensive.
I know. I know.
Yeah, but I mean, they've gotten better with it. I mean, my stuff is covered by Apple Care, so
You
all I
know,
do is one monthly payment, and if something goes wrong with, say, my watch or my phone or my iPad, they'll just replace it at a much bigger discount price. So
and,
that saves you a lot of money.
and I gotta give Ashton Kutcher props because he did an awesome job playing Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's right.
Founder of
That's right.
Apple.
Yeah.
You know, I watched. It's on Netflix. There's a movie. It's called
I've seen
Jobs.
it.
Jobs. Yeah, I remember
I've
that
seen
movie.
that.
Oh man, I
Oh yeah.
watched it for like
So,
a second time the other night.
all right. So let's get back to this.
Yeah.
Let's go to the kills in this. What was your favorite death scene in this movie? Like, because Jason goes really all out. Because originally they were planning to do 13 kills because Friday the 13th, but the studio decided no, we need to get audience more and more engaged. So we're just gonna go all out and have more people killed in this. Yeah. So what was
Yeah,
your
well,
favorite?
I
my
gotta
favorite
say, and I
one
know.
was because, I'm oldest, so, of course I watched the show too growing up, you know.
Hmm.
But Arnold Horshack was annoying in Welcome Back Kotter, with the ooh, 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 pick me, type thing.
Yeah.
And so that was like my favorite, watching him go. The, I, and the other thing about this is the movie wastes no time to start the kill count.
Oh yeah. And
You know,
also
and
the
some of
movie.
those movies kind of dragged on, and you see the counselors playing strip monopoly and all this shit. And then maybe about a half hour in, you get the first kill.
Right. Yeah, there were a few scenes there in a couple of these movies that felt like filler, but here they just get straight to it, and they also demonstrate that this is different from the franchise by adding a little bit of humor in the opening title sequence, where they zoom in on Jason, hockey mask, has his iron bar, and like they zoom in like right to his eye, and this pupil dilates, and you see like Jason walking and then turning and then slashing, which is obviously a reference to the gun barrel sequence from a James Bond movie.
Yeah, that was cool as
Yeah.
hell, bro.
My, oh yeah,
That
my
was.
family are. Oh yeah, my dad loves James Bond. My sisters love James Bond. I love James Bond. So I
I'm
got
not a
that
big
reference.
James Bond fan, so I
So
didn't catch the reference right
uh,
away, but
uh,
I
oh,
did like
immediately.
that scene. You know,
Yeah.
the way they did that.
Yeah, the gun barrel sequence. Yeah. I always like the one with Pierce Brosnan and Goldeneye. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not, he just. I guess Robert White is watching and he just. Nah, this will give you a Minecraft memory. He says to me, "Never go walking into the forest at night. There could be bees."
Oh. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, of course he would address that to you because we always make fun of Nicolas Cage.
I don't like.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but the time that I got lost in the woods, that was before it was still kind of cool out, like in March or early April. So this was still at a time before bees could even be out.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's. So what are some memorable kills in this for you, Nick? Because there were quite a few, including the one with the RV where Nikki has her face like crushed into the wall, and you see like her.
Yeah, like they definitely did hold back. I liked how, this is going to sound absolutely insane, and this is what I thought when I was younger. Of course, obviously, I know that's not the case at all. It was like when one of the cops was comforting the kids, and then Jason stands right by, he starts firing that gun like crazy, and then Jason just like puts his. I literally thought, this is what I thought when I was a kid. I thought, like, is he like truly scaring him to death, like trying to put that fear into his brain? That's what I thought. It's like he was freezing in terror. Like, is he freezing him or something? But now I realize, of course, obviously, that's what I thought back then.
Yeah, I got you.
Turns out I was wrong.
Yeah.
Now I know clearly that he was crushing his skull with his bare hands.
Yeah, maybe they could have shot that a little bit, or maybe you just didn't see that the blood was just like spraying onto a little bit of blood spatters onto Jason's mask when he's crushing the guy's head. So maybe you just didn't see that.
Well,
I don't know.
I think the reason was too why I didn't notice that, because I think the reason why was at the time that I first saw it, it was on AMC.
Oh.
And any movie like that on AMC, a lot of the graphic stuff was going to be cut out or edited. So it was edited for that version of the movie. So that's why I didn't see any blood out of it.
That is very true. I mean, they did the same thing when I watched the Halloween movies. I mean, there are some times where a kill happens and like you don't even know. It doesn't even let you get a good view of how it happens. You know?
No, it doesn't. It's like I remember back in the day when I used to start watching this stuff. Like, it was great at first, but then as I got older and I started liking a lot of the gory stuff, that's like when it started to become upsetting. I mean, I know the fact is they're probably going to be doing that again later this year in October for Fear Fest on AMC.
Mm-hmm.
But despite of the cuts, it's still not going to stop me from watching the movies.
Oh yeah, I hear that. I've been a fan since I was little.
Although I will say, 20 years ago, Fear Fest I think was far better than what it is today. I mean, I know they're still showing a lot of the movies, but they've also kicked out a lot of the classic ones in place of like newer ones too. I mean, yes, it's good of what they're doing, but it's like, what happened to the old ones? The other old ones they used to show, like like Hellraiser and Nightmare. Well, I mean, I think they still show Nightmare on Elm Street, but
oh yeah, they got to show Nightmare on Elm Street. That's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, they do. I remember
that was one of Clive Barker's best.
Yeah, they were. They just don't. That's what Tremors was. They just don't show those other movies anymore.
Tremors was a great movie too.
Oh come on, they stopped showing Tremors. Come on.
See, and that's why I get nostalgic, especially when I find YouTube clips, like on YouTube of when AMC, when Fear Fest kind of really began, like around 2004, 2005. And I still remember just like how classic it looked. Although I will admit, can't believe I'm about to say this. That was also around the time, too, where there was the most arguments that occurred between my parents and I through Fear Fest. Not because of the movies that I was watching. Unfortunately, this was still partially at a time before we could record movies, like whenever we could, like on our DVRs and stuff like that. And so we still didn't really have that at the time. Or if we did, it would have been expensive as hell. And of course, the typical arguments about me needing to do my homework. It's like, I've been waiting all year for this. Like, come on. So, yeah, that was, at that time, it was a great era. But that was also the time when the most arguments also came out. Because if we had DVRs back then, we wouldn't have had those arguments. And the DVR sure as hell would have come in handy.
Yeah, same with the stream services.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no shit.
Yeah.
We didn't even have cable
Oh yeah. I mean, there were times where
back in my day.
oh yeah, back in my day, when I was still in school, like I made jokes on like certain on certain homework questions, like mathematics. I would if they say find the new dimensions to place a pool table in this house, here's a solution: just buy a bigger house.
See, back in my day,
Yeah.
after school was consisted, you had three channels plus the public, channel.
It's correct. Yeah.
We know what public channel was, Mr. Rogers, Sesame
Oh yeah.
Street,
Yeah.
etc.
Classics.
You know,
CBS.
all right, but the other channels, they would have more like older movies, like the Godzilla movies.
Yep.
Yep.
And some of them were in black and white and dubbed, because they were done in like whatever Chinese or
Yeah.
Japanese or whatever, so they were dubbed, so you had the monster movies, all those monster movies, everything from, you know, Godzilla to King Kong to the Flying Turtle,
Gamera.
you know,
Yep. And let's see.
and then
Oh
you had Ultraman, you
Yep.
know.
yeah. And so like some of these characters, like I just remembered the scene, the RV. Like you noticed the song that was playing, Nick?
Again, it's been several years since I've watched it, so I.
Teenage Frankenstein, Alice Cooper.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Okay.
Oh yeah, and for those of you who've seen this movie to the end, you know that Alice Cooper also added, the man behind the mask, which they also did a music video for.
Yeah, I did. Which I'm glad they finally, because like for several years, the only way that you could really watch. I mean, yes, it was on YouTube, but it was like a very poor quality video that they had for like several years. Now they finally uploaded, like a few years ago, a remastered, clean cut version of it. So because the other one was just, it was very pixelated, very garbled, very, I mean, the sound was still good, but very
Yes.
pixelated, very, very blurry. You couldn't really see much. So it's great that they finally made a remastered version of the music video, which can easily be seen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was the early years of YouTube. Like they like the quality wasn't always the best in some of these videos. Actually, one of the very first.
Not just YouTube. One of the dominant programs. Like if you want it, there was a web, there was a website I used to love so much. I mean, I still do now, but it's nowhere like what it used to be. It was a website that was called Dark. It was called Dark Angels. I think it was called Dark Angels House of Horrors. It
Oh
was an it was an Angel Fire. You guys know what an Angel Fire website is, right?
yes.
Yeah, it was an Angel. I mean, the website is still there today, but unfortunately, like as far as I don't even know if anybody even goes to that website anymore.
Yeah.
And what was great about the website, like what I remember when I first discovered it over 20 years ago, is that they would have pages that would talk about a history, like different pages detailing the history of horror movies. And what else? It was also one of those websites too, where they would play these classic, horror theme songs. Like I don't think you could ever find these versions on YouTube. The time when I heard these versions, I honestly don't think I will ever hear them again.
Oh,
And what was great about this site too was that they had separate pages, including the Friday the 13th movies, like where they would be talking about the movie, then the person, whoever ran it, would give their review and whatnot, and then they would sometimes also add trivia facts about the film itself. But to get back to the main point of why I'm bringing this up, is they would also have links so you can watch the trailers of these movies. Once in a while, when you went to a particular page, sometimes they would have a clip of that movie, particularly mainly like the killing scenes.
right.
I remember like when they did the first, like when they had the original Friday the 13th, it said like all gore scenes. You can click on any one of these, and where it would take you to was, if you guys remember when Real Player used to be it would open up in a box like Windows Media Player, and that's where you watched your trailer. And if I recall correctly, when they did that for Jason Lives, I think they had the music video for that there too. But again, it was very heavily
It's been.
pixelated.
Oh yeah, I remember. And
Yeah.
so let's talk about how the movie ended. So they so the police are like Tommy and Megan are able to bust Tommy out of jail, and they drive to Camp Crystal Lake to put an end to Jason. The cops go there, and they encounter Jason and are getting killed off one by one, and which ended with Sheriff Garris being folded in half by Jason. Yeah, and they did the exact same thing in the Blob remake 2 years later with another cop.
Yes, they had.
They did. Yeah, the Blob pulls him through a small hole, like, and breaks his body in half in order to get him through. And I'm just like, oh man, you hear the bones snapping and everything. Oh man.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's the one thing that cringes me is the sound of bones breaking. Oh.
Obviously, those movies, doesn't matter if it's this one, Nightmare on Elm Street, etc., they tend to share a lot in common.
They do.
I mean, you look at it, how many of the bad guys wear masks
Yeah.
where you don't see their face?
Yeah, well, and that was something that was going on for the longest time with a lot of these slasher movies. There's always
see,
a guy wearing a mask.
you can consider like Freddy Krueger thing a mask too, because his face was just burnt up beyond all recognition.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I could definitely. I'll say this real quick is that just to throw this out as a trivia fact, and I'm not going to spoil it in case you guys want to see it. Now, I will say it's not a very good movie, but it was good for what it was at its time. The earliest film that had ever demonstrated not necessarily a person wearing a mask, but in this case, at least with a hooded figure, was a low-budget movie made back in 1968 that was called The Ghastly One, or later became known as Blood Rights. And that was kind of the first ones that really kind of demonstrated who exactly was the killer. And we're talking 1968, so we're talking several years before any of these. Obviously, the effects in that movie are not the best. It was a very cheaply made movie, but it still kind of serves some kind of element or inspiration for later slasher movies.
Right. So at the end of this film, Jason ends up getting lured by Tommy right into the lake, and they have a fight. They have a fight, and Tommy pours gasoline surrounding the boat and sets that on fire. I'm just like, you pretty much you kind of are cutting off your escape route if something goes wrong. You know that, right, Tommy?
Yeah, I was thinking he was brain dead at that point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Jason ends up dragging him and then ends up drowning him, and Megan goes in, saving him, and sets off the bolt propeller right into Jason's neck, which cuts into his neck and also rips off parts of his mask on one side, which that mask damage ends up being on the other side in part 7. So again, continuity is not exactly the strongest trait.
Well, they gotta leave it wide open for another one. They always have. Every movie's done that.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, the damage to the mask was on the left side of the mask in this movie at the end, but then in part 7, the damage to the mask ends up being on the other side.
Yeah, so they kind of screwed up themselves. They made a big mistake. I mean, you think you'd keep it 100, real.
Yeah.
And make sure that it was on that same side that the previous movie ended. Those kind of, but that's what low budget does. Or the
they kept putting out.
You crunch for time.
Yeah, I mean they kept putting out new. Right. Yeah, I mean they kept putting out new Friday the 13th movies almost every year throughout the 80s. So even in that short amount of time that they had to work on the next movie, they could have paid attention to small details like that.
Yeah.
And I was going to say that this also marks the end of this film. Marks two things: the beginning of Jason Voorhees becoming a supernatural killer, and also marks the end of the Tommy Jarvis era of the franchise. But that's not entirely true because because Tom Matthews actually did reprise his role in recent years for an independent chapter of Friday the 13th called Never Hike Alone. And here he is in that.
Real quick, I just
Tommy
want.
Jarvis.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
Tommy Jarvis comes back. Yeah, Tommy Jarvis comes back in Never Hike Alone as he works as a paramedic, who ends up picking up the survivor, the main character of the film, and
Wow.
Yeah.
encountering Jason. Oh yeah, so I always like that. I like that he was able to reprise his role after all these years. Yeah, that was great. And yes, Billy. After the eighth film, Paramount Pictures just decided they just were out of ideas about what to do with the Friday 30th franchise, so they sold it to New Line Cinema, who then made Jason Goes to Hell Final Friday. And then that film marks the second time where we've been lied to that it was the last Friday the 13th movie.
That's exactly. Real
Yeah.
quick, I just want to say this quick because this is another thing too involving not only just Jason Lives but all the movies. I actually just decided to go check and look for that website that I was telling you guys about, Dark Angels Realm of Horrors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to tell you this, I don't think the website exists anymore.
Yeah, I'm not
There's no
surprised.
activity. The website's
Yeah, well,
closed down.
the only way you're going to be able to ever see it again is either through Internet Archive or the guy that is running his name is it's actually ran by a British citizen by the name of Simon Tyler, which he did go by the name of Dark Angel, and um, he still does run the name, but he just doesn't have the website anymore. You can only find it like on him on Facebook, YouTube. But like I said, if you actually want to go back to the website that he used to have, you would have to go through Internet Archive. But if you go there now, I can guarantee the music they used to play on the website that's long gone. But another page I remember from that website was that they had like a whole what's the word? Like a hall of fame, and it included like all the actors like who played certain horror characters, including every actor that played Jason in all the Friday the 13th movies, including Part
nice.
6. And what was crazy was, I wish I should have known it at the time, but I didn't. That was another website that had like an 8-bit version of a song playing. This time, it wasn't even a horror movie theme, but it was a very famous song that we're all familiar with, Don. What I didn't realize at the time, they were playing an 8-bit version of Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh yeah.
I'll never be able to hear that version again, like, because that's long gone, but I could still hear of how it went in my head, though. So thank God, at least I still remember, I still have it in my head.
Nice. Hold on, I'm trying to find something I just thought of. It's something that we filmed a while. Oh, I found it. Something we filmed a while back. This is when we were at your place just goofing around. This was almost 10 years ago. You know that hockey mask that you have, which is a replica.
Oh
of
yeah.
the one, of
Oh,
the one,
I already know what it. I already know which picture that is.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, well, like and also it has to do with the man behind the mask from Alice Cooper. Here,
Yes, I
I'll
know.
play for
It's
you.
in a video.
Yep. Here.
I knew it.
And here, the guy wearing the
Hold
mask.
on, let's
Okay, the guy wearing the mask is me. Here, hang on.
Oh my God, that was when we were still shitting my film.
I left no survivors.
No, you didn't. I can't believe that was like when I still had my studio at that time, Don. We were still making my film.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, you know what? There's one thing I want to check out that Oh man, it has to do with the Friday 30th franchise, and it happens to be one of the very first videos that I've watched on YouTube 20 years ago. Hold on.
We do have to end the soon though, Don, because
I know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my God, it's still here. And it's from the same guy. I recognize this username. Here. Oh come on, freaking ads. Here, I want to show you guys this. This was one of the very first YouTube videos I ever saw, and it's a montage of the Friday the 13th franchise. Here, let me share the screen. If it'll let me. Okay, here we go. Demolition from WWE.
Here comes the axe, and here comes the smasher, the demolition, walking disaster, pain and destruction is our middle name. Search and destroy you, run and we'll find you. There's no place to hide, the devils will get you. Pain and destruction is our middle name. The demolition. Better say your act of contrition.
There's that scene.
The demolition. Better say your act of contrition. Here comes the axe, and here comes the smasher, the demolition, walking disaster, search and destroy you. Run and we'll find you. There's no place to hide. The devils will get you. Demolition.
One Goldberg. Tarzan. Oh, wow. Yeah, oh man, that gave me some serious nostalgia. I mean, I remember 20 years ago, like seeing, like just wanting to look up clips of Friday the 13th and Jason, and I came across that was the first thing I came across.
Pretty good clip.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I just want it's amazing how that's just still there after all this time.
Yeah.
Wow. So, anyway, Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, is definitely one of the best of the franchise, and it really sets. It's the first film where Jason is depicted as a supernatural killer, and like I said, any sort of realism or plausibility goes straight out the window from this point on. It's all It's Jason's supernatural being from here on out.
Yeah.
And you think him being an unstoppable killer, like as far as the supernatural stuff, wait till we get to Part 7 where it gets even more insane. Oh yeah, because Part 7 is pretty much Carrie versus Jason when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's it for this edition of the Fearfans podcast. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll let you guys know what we're covering next. Next is going to be Nick's decision, and very soon we're going to have we're going to see if we can have a guest join us in this. I think Nick, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yep. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night, everybody.